Hello everybody, Interitere back again with another video. And today's video, guys, is going to be about, of course, to talk about yesterday's matches between Daniil Medvedev, the world number 4, versus Alexander Sasha Zverev, the world number 7. And of course, talk about Novak Djokovic, the world number 1, versus Diego Schwartzman, the world number 9. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna start with talking about the match between Daniil Medvedev versus Alexander Sasha Zverev. This was not the greatest first set that I've seen from both of them, especially from Sasha Zverev. They both started with weak serving performances. Medvedev blinked first when Sasha immediately braked his serve in the first game of the match. But of course, then Medvedev, a couple of games later, braked back. And then also braked once again. And in the end, won the first set 6-3. This was, let's say like this was double fault slugfest from Sasha Zverev in the first set, and a forehand error slugfest from Daniil Medvedev in the first set. Sasha, I believe, did 7 double faults in the entire match. 6 of them came in the first set. And Daniil Medvedev, he did 16 forehand unforced errors in the entire match, and the majority of his forehand unforced errors came in the first set. So, not the most quality first set of tennis that I've seen in my life, that for sure. But Daniil Medvedev was the better player, was the cleaner player, was the more solid player, and was the more clutch player. All in all, Daniil Medvedev was much better than Sasha Zverev. This has to be, at least in my opinion, Sasha Zverev's worst performance that I've seen this year. Because let's face it, Sasha Zverev has done a pretty solid year considering in this pandemic strange year that we have had in 2020. He was in that semi-final in Australian Open, lost to Dominic Thiem there in close 4 sets. He played the US Open final, was only 2 points away of winning that title in US Open against Dominic Thiem. And he won 2 titles in Germany, in his home country. Indoors titles, both of them. So, this performance against Daniil Medvedev, it was just like seeing the old Sasha Zverev with his old sins. Because what has David Ferrer done since he started working with Alexander Sasha Zverev? He has really fixed his second serve. He has really also taken care of his forehand. He has fixed his forehand as well, because we all know that what is Sasha Zverev's biggest weaknesses? His second serve, his forehand used to be a big weakness in the past, and a third thing also, he used to be really passive in the past, Sasha Zverev. His second serve didn't work against Medvedev. His forehand didn't work against Medvedev. It was okay, his forehand was okay, but he was having too much loopy forehands. He was not penetrating the court like I have seen him doing in Australian Open, US Open, and in those 2 titles he won in Germany. It was like Sasha Zverev's forehand, it was landing on Daniil Medvedev's strike zone, and Daniil Medvedev didn't have so much trouble hitting winners with that. Not that Daniil Medvedev did a lot of winners, because Daniil Medvedev didn't himself do that a superior match, in my opinion. But I've seen Sasha Zverev's forehand being hit. I've seen him hitting that forehand much better than he did in this match. All in all, Sasha Zverev, he did 29 unforced errors. 11 of those unforced errors came with his forehand, 11 came with his backhand, and 7 double faults. So, all these 3 combined, you get 29 unforced errors from Sasha Zverev, and only 15 winners. Sasha Zverev did. So he does 14 more unforced errors than what he does winners, Sasha Zverev. And if you look at the Daniil Medvedev numbers, he did much better match. Daniil Medvedev does 21 unforced errors and he does 21 winners. So the unforced errors and the winner stat for Daniil Medvedev are even Steven there. And the serving department, if you look, they didn't serve great, none of them, especially not in the first set. And mostly in the first set. In the second set, they started to serve much better. In the first set, they had low percentage of first serves in. I think that Medvedev was in 58% first serves in the first set, and Sasha was 63% in the first set in landing first serves. So Sasha Zverev, what is Sasha Zverev's biggest weapon? It is his first serve. If that first serve doesn't work, he will be in big trouble, which he was. That's why Daniil Medvedev broke his serve 2 times in the first set. Because you cannot come away with 63% first serve in if you are named Sasha Zverev. You can come away if you are named Novak Djokovic. You can come away if you are named Rafael Nadal, because Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal's biggest weapons are not their serves. It is their consistency, it is their stamina, it is their baseline game, and that is not the case with Sasha Zverev. Sasha Zverev, he needs that first serve, and that first serve let him down in the first set, and many other things in his game. Like I said, many double faults. He did 6 double faults in the first set. He cut down his double faults in the second set. In the second set, he did only 1 double fault. But Sasha Zverev's first set was not maybe horrible, but really, really weak. And Daniil Medvedev didn't do himself that superior first set, but at least he did a much better first set than what Sasha did. Daniil Medvedev got his serve broken only 1 time, and that was in the first game of the match. And Sasha Zverev, he saw 6 breakpoint opportunities in the entire match, and all of those six breakpoint opportunities was in the first set, because Daniil Medvedev was not serving that superbly in the first set. He was only landing 58% first serves in, like I said. In the second set, they both served much better. Daniil Medvedev, he raised his first percentage of first serves. He landed 80% first serves in Daniil Medvedev in the second set. And Alexander Sasha Zverev, he landed 82% first serves in the second set. So they both raised their level when they come to the serving department in the second set. But for Sasha, it was just too late. Daniil Medvedev, he started to swing much freely in the second set. He started to cut down his unforced errors, especially from his forehand side. So all in all, a solid performance from Daniil Medvedev. A pretty weak performance from Sasha Zverev. And Daniil Medvedev comes through this match 6-3, 6-4. And Daniil Medvedev was really good at the net. I should not forget to say he approached the net 10 times, Daniil Medvedev, and won all of those net approaches. So he was 100% on the net, Daniil Medvedev. So he should have credit for that. All in all, Daniil Medvedev was a much better player. When the rallies got longer, he was better. When the rallies got over 9 shots, he was better than Alexander Sasha Zverev. When the rallies from 5 to 9 shots, he was better than Alexander Sasha Zverev. And on the fast points from 0 to 5 shots, Daniil Medvedev was much better than Alexander Sasha Zverev. All in all, when all was said and done, Daniil Medvedev, he landed 67% first serves in, and Alexander Sasha Zverev landed 72, which is a good number from Alexander Sasha Zverev. But the majority of those first serves in, they came in the second set, not in the first set. And in winning behind the second points, Sasha Zverev was back in old sins. He won only 35%. And that has to do with his weak second serve performance like he had yesterday. And when the rallies are going, he doesn't stand a chance against Daniil Medvedev. Daniil Medvedev, he wears him down from the baseline. That's it, guys. He wears him down through baseline. So Sasha, you cannot win a match when you win 35% points behind your second serve. You just cannot do it. That's it, guys. You just cannot do it. And Medvedev, on the other hand, he wins 65% behind the second serve, if I'm not mistaken. So no, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. No. It's even worse for Sasha. Sasha Zverev, he wins 21% behind the second serve. 21. That is not okay, for God's sake. 21%. That is a disaster. And Medvedev, he wins 57% behind the second serve. So you can see the big difference there. Medvedev is doing much better in winning points behind the second serve than what Sasha did. And winning points behind the first serves, Medvedev also is better there, but not crazy much better. Medvedev wins 74% behind his first serves, and Sasha wins 69%. So even though Medvedev lands less first serves in, 67%, in the entire match, and Sasha lands more first serves in, 72%, Medvedev wins more points both behind his first serve and especially behind the second serve. All in all, Medvedev wins 73 points and Sasha wins 58 points. So Medvedev wins 15 more points than Alexander Sasha Zverev. 15 more points to win than your opponent in tennis is quite a lot. So that says a lot that Medvedev was much better than Alexander Sasha Zverev. This was Alexander Sasha Zverev's worst performance that I've seen in 2020. And Medvedev did a solid performance, not a great performance. And Medvedev, he won the match 6-3, 6-4. Alright guys, that's it for the talk about and analyzing this match between Medvedev and Alexander Sasha Zverev. Let's go into and analyzing the second match between the world number 1, Novak Djokovic, versus the world number 9, Diego Schwartzman. A routine victory for the world number 1. A superb performance from Novak Djokovic. A really clean performance from Novak Djokovic. I don't remember when I have seen Novak Djokovic being this clean and this superior in this season, guys. Because you know what I've said, you know my opinion. After the pandemic, after when the tennis season restarted after the pandemic, I have not been deadly impressed from Novak Djokovic. Yeah, he has won titles in Cincinnati, he has won titles in Rome, he was in the final in French Open, but he has not looked invincible by any means. He has looked very, very beatable, and he has dropped sets here and there, and he has played inconsistent tennis. But before the pandemic started in Australian Open, and especially in Dubai, he looked much better, in my opinion, much better. And this was a remind of Novak Djokovic, what I saw him in Australian Open and in Dubai. This was probably his best performance that I have seen in this season from Novak Djokovic. And yeah, we can always say that Diego Schwartzman, we all know he will not stand a chance. I'm not surprised of the result, because I was expecting Djokovic to come through Diego in straight sets. I even said that yesterday when I did my video. Novak will win in straight sets. But what I am impressed was that Novak was so clean. He was so focused. It was like seeing a Rafael Nadal. He was so focused in every single point. Because Diego, we all know that Diego is here to play 3 matches and lose all of those 3 matches and take the flight home back to Argentina. We all know that. Diego has nothing to do in this tournament. The only reason Diego is here in the first place is because Roger Federer is injured. Because if Roger was healthy, Diego would not be anticipating this tournament. The guy doesn't have any serve. Poor guy. What is the most important thing when you play indoor tennis? Is having a great serve. And Diego lacks that. He doesn't have any serve. Diego doesn't get any free points. But what Diego can do, he can make you play shots. He can take you into long exchanges. He's a baseline grinder. He will make you work for it. He will make you earn the victory. And Diego did a much better match than Rublev did against Nadal. Diego did a much better match than Sasha Zverev did against Medvedev, at least in my opinion. Diego was not good, but he was not a disaster. Rublev and Sasha Zverev, they were disasters in my opinion. But it didn't matter, because Djokovic was superior. In my opinion, Djokovic was superior. The only thing Djokovic was not superior was in the serving department. He landed 64% first serve in. That is too little, in my opinion, because a machine, a superior tennis player of Djokovic caliber, he needs to land a little more first serve in. But that is usually what Djokovic lands. He usually is between 60 and 67, 68 in first serve landing. So I'm not surprised. But Djokovic, he needs to gear up that first serve in a little more for him to maybe win the title. But this can be enough also, because all of the things in Djokovic game was working tremendously good. Man, Djokovic landed 64% first serve in. He wins 77% behind those first serves in. Behind those first serves in, and he wins 65% behind his second serves. And if you look, and he does 7 aces. If you look in Diego's numbers, he lands 62% first serves in. That is way too little. You cannot come away against a beast like Djokovic with 62% first serves in. But we are not surprised. The guy is really short, so you cannot expect Diego landing over 70% first serves in. That will never happen. But anyway, with 62%, it will never be enough against the world number 1 Novak Djokovic. And Diego wins 63% behind those first serves in. Way too little. But the biggest damage here, the biggest difference here is, no surprise, winning points behind your second serve, where Djokovic is, in my opinion, the greatest serve returner in the world, maybe of all time. Diego wins only 35% behind his second serves. And why is that the case? Because Djokovic has so much better returns than Diego Schwartzman. Diego wins 35% behind his second serves, and Djokovic wins 65% behind his second serves. You see the big difference here? Why? Because Diego doesn't do enough on punishing Novak's second serve, which is the case with Novak. He punishes Diego's second serve tremendously. And it is not only about punishing, because let's face it, it was not like Djokovic was clubbing the ball in every second serve that Diego did. No, it is not. That is not true. Djokovic took Diego into the rallies when Diego was serving those second serves, and when the rally was on, 8 out of 10 points, Djokovic was winning those long exchanges, because Diego didn't stand a chance on the baseline. That's why I was so impressed from Novak. He was not doing any errors in this match. I believe Novak did only 12 unforced errors in the entire match. That is really little, because Diego is not easy hitting through. Even though he's much easier hitting through outside clay, we all know that, but it is still not easy hitting through him. And he will not do a lot of errors. I think Diego did the entire match 17 unforced errors. That is not crazy much. 17 unforced errors. That is not that much. It is not like Sasha Zverev, who did 29 unforced errors against Medvedev. Diego does only 17 unforced errors in this match, and does only 9 winners. So Diego does 8 more unforced errors than winners. That is not a disaster. In my opinion, that is not a disaster, in my opinion. So, and Novak Djokovic, on the other hand, he does 23 winners and only 12 unforced errors. So Djokovic does 11 more winners than he does unforced errors. So, all in all, a really clean performance from Novak Djokovic. Like I'm saying, this was his best performance that I've seen him this year. Diego Schwartzman is not by any means any benchmark. We know that he will have much more tough times, especially against Medvedev, which he will face tomorrow. We know that Medvedev will give Novak Djokovic much more headache, and he will give Novak Djokovic a much more challenge. But after seeing Novak Djokovic with this kind of performance, if he can sustain this level the entire week, he will be really hard to defeat. And I'm not expecting Djokovic just to take vacation, because Djokovic usually he takes vacations during matches for 1 or 2 or 3, sometimes 1 set. He does that. He's not any Rafa Nadal. Rafa Nadal is a player who never takes vacations. We all know that. That is not any new news. So Djokovic can sometimes take vacations, but I don't think he will take vacation in an entire match. And if he does take vacations, he will do that in the group stage. When it comes to big matches, semifinals and finals, he will not take, at least not any long vacations, in my opinion. He looked solid, man. He looked really solid. Yeah, I'm not making big conclusions of this match because Diego is not any test. But Diego didn't do a disaster match. That is the thing here. Like I said, both Rublev and both Alexander Sasha Zverev did a much worse match than Diego. Diego puts a lot of balls into the court. Let's face it. He puts a lot of balls into the court. You need to do the work. You need to beat him. Diego doesn't beat him necessarily himself crazy many times. Yeah, now he's not Nadal. Sometimes he beats himself. Yeah, I know that. But he didn't beat himself like Sasha did. Sasha defeated himself with 29 unforced errors. He didn't beat himself like Andrew Rublev did. Rublev beat himself against Nadal yesterday. Or not yesterday, a couple days ago. 2 days ago. It was not like that, but it was just like Djokovic is just too good, too solid. Especially, I love Novak Djokovic cross-court forehand. You know, I've talked about Novak Djokovic's cross-court forehand before. His cross-court forehand, when he hits that cross-court forehand with angle and pushes his opponent back on the corners, it is really beautiful to see. It is so beautiful to see. And if you are not having a good forehand like Diego doesn't have, in my opinion, Diego's backhand is better than Diego's forehand. You will not come away with that cross-court angle forehand that Djokovic creates. You cannot do damage. If you're Nadal has a great cross-court backhand, which Djokovic tried to hit so many cross-court forehands against Nadal in that French Open final. But Rafa Nadal was ripping that ball with his cross-court backhand. But Diego Schwartzman first of all, Diego Schwartzman is not a lefty. And second of all, Diego Schwartzman is not Nadal. He cannot punish Novak Djokovic cross-court forehand like Rafa Nadal can do with his cross-court backhand. So I really like Novak Djokovic cross-court forehand. And that is a really great shot he has. That is an underrated shot. And he punished Diego Schwartzman a lot of times with that cross-court angle forehand. I really like that. So, all in all, Novak Djokovic, he just outplayed, more or less, Diego Schwartzman, won the match 6-3, 6-4. The only time Djokovic was a little weak in this match was in the beginning of the match where Diego Schwartzman braked his serve. So Novak Djokovic was the player who blinked first, but that was the only time. That was the only letdown that Djokovic had. But after that, especially when Djokovic then immediately braked him back, and then in that 8th game of the first set, where Diego actually did a great game there, he was not like he was beating himself, but Djokovic was just punishing him and just outlasting him from the baseline, and he braked his serve for the second time in that first set and got up 5-3, and then he served out the set 6-3 Novak Djokovic. So 4 breaks all in all for Novak Djokovic, 2 breaks in the first set, 2 breaks in the second set. Djokovic dropped his serve only 1 time. Like I said, that was the only time that Djokovic took a little vacation for 5 minutes. But after that, especially after that second break Djokovic got in the first set, it was one-way traffic, really. It was really one-way traffic. Diego didn't stand a chance. So Novak Djokovic is looking really good. This was his best performance I've seen this year, at least in my opinion. I don't know if you guys agree. Especially seeing Djokovic this focused, especially seeing Djokovic playing this error-free 12 unforced errors against a dude like Diego who puts a lot of balls back into the court. That is impressive, guys. That is impressive. But let's see what Djokovic can do against Medvedev. Look, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. Of all these 8 players I've seen in their first matches, Djokovic is the player I've been most impressed of. Djokovic is the player I've been most impressed of. And then the second player is Rafa Nadal. And the third player is Dominic Thiem. So, of these first matches I've seen, the most player I've been impressed of is Novak Djokovic in the first place, Rafa Nadal in the second place, Dominic Thiem in the third place. Alright guys, 25 minutes, that will be enough for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care. And I need to say one more thing. Djokovic, he was, in all points won, Djokovic won 59 points and Diego Schwartzman won only 40 points. So Djokovic wins 19 more points than Diego Schwartzman. That tells a lot. To win 19 more points than your opponent in tennis, it's a lot. Trust me, it's that you have really been dominating your opponent. Medvedev won 15 more points than Alexander Sasha Zverev. Novak Djokovic wins 19 more points than Diego Schwartzman. This tells to us that Medvedev was dominating Alexander Sasha Zverev, but Alexander Sasha Zverev mostly beat it himself. But Djokovic dominated Diego Schwartzman even more. But in this case, it was more that Djokovic defeated Diego than Diego defeated himself. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care and bye bye.